Hi everyone, this is Daisy here, aka Professional High Priestess, and we just finished up the ancestral healing session for the month, and in that, a lot of heavy messages came up. But I did want to say that something that I wanted to make sure that I got across to just the public platform is this specific concept. Now, for those of you who are gang stalked, you're targeted individuals, you always have people coming after you, et cetera, et cetera. One of the things that you have to understand is your bloodline, your DNA has a specific frequency. A lot of karmics, their DNA has been damaged through because of the trauma that their ancestors experienced. Um, the diet, specifically to the diet, that's why they used to feed us the way that they fed us on the plantation. There's 71 people and 17 likes, so I'm right on point because of the way that their ancestors were fed. Because, like I said, the trauma, because of karma, because of spell work, whatever, blood plaques or whatever that they tied themselves into, because of all of that, their DNA is vibrating at a very low vibration. That's why it's hard for them to manifest without the devil or without using somebody else's energy, right? So then you come along. You, of course, your ancestors may have gone through trauma. They have gone through certain things, but they were able to preserve the bloodline. And because you have probably, tied with the goddess council, or your ancestors took paths to basically be about justice, or your ancestors were like the original people, the real Hebrew Israelites, right? Because a lot of the a lot of the Hebrew Israelites that people are talking about, these are it's the Ethiopian people, and then also some of the people that were traveled down into West Africa. And this can be all discovered through the Cordorfian language trees for those of you who actually study and don't just listen to YouTube scholars who don't know what the fuck they're talking about. So when you come from a high vibrational ancestral lineage and your DNA is still intact and your energy centers are still intact, you attract very low vibrational people who want to attack you and in ways to try to steal your energy. That's why you're a targeted individual, because this is past life energy and they're bringing it into this lifetime. And it's because, remember, we talked about this, your energy signature. That's why they try to come for you. Because I know if you guys notice, the people that try to come for you, they don't look better than you. They're not doing better than you in any way, shape, or form. So obviously you have to think about, okay, so then what's the issue here? Because I know it's not me, it's the energy. Whatever demon or whatever like low vibrational ancestors that are running them, they can smell your energy. That's why they're attacking you, because they want a piece of it. But remember, the way in which they used to do energy transferring, it's different. So now they're doing the different targeting you, they're gang stalking you and all that different stuff. They're trying to steal your energy or trying to tamper with your energy or leak your energy so they can steal it and try to embody and code it. But it's different these days. Because remember, the DNA has 12 strands. A lot of these karmics, the DNA, it looks on the physical level, it's a double helix. But when you look beyond, it's a 12 strand DNA. A lot of these karmics, they're not at that level. They can't get to the 12th strand. So even with all these games that they play, they still can't even embody the energy that they try to steal or take from you. That's why they get jealous, because they know that it's something that they can't embody, something that they don't have in you, that they don't have in themselves. So that's why they either try to diminish you or attack you or get rid of you altogether, because of your DNA. Now, there's about 64 DNA codons that can be activated, a maximum of 64. Maximum. They haven't found anybody that was able to embody that 64. Most humans, like if you operate, you eat healthy, things like that, you can have at least maybe 40 codons activated. And a lot of the karmics that play games, they play with black magic, their ancestors are low vibrational, it's maybe even 30 to 35 codons activated. Very low vibrational. But you won't hear any of them talking about it. You won't hear any of them going this far and talking about that, because they don't know what they're talking about, because they're the problem. They don't have the keys to the streets to really understand this level. I got 144 people in this chat as I said that. Now, because they don't have those DNA codons activated and you do, what ends up happening is the more that you ascend, the more you rise, the more DNA codons get activated and you get more keys to the streets, because it's through the DNA that you get the knowledge and the wisdom. Not even certain books and things like that you can read, but if your DNA is not coded in a certain way, you won't even be able to pick out the keys to the streets that are in between the lines. Because remember, I told you a lot of these books are coded and they're written in precise ways to trap karmics that want to use it for ill will and liberate individuals who are using it to actually help the collective and for healing, you see? So these karmics, these distorted feminists, these distorted masculines, that's why they attack you and they harass you and they try to assault you and things like that, because they know they don't have it. And a lot of them are going to be getting rude awakenings about who they really are, because a lot of them have tried to build their energy and build their self-esteem off of you, and it's not working. A lot of them have their magic is not working. The transferring magic or the stealing from your Akashic records, it's killing them and it's backfiring because they're playing with high level black magic that has no place on planet Earth. And I don't think that there's few people, if any at all, who really know how to do that magic successfully. I've never seen anybody do it successfully. The person always either dies, they get sick, or something backfires. They are intimidated by you. Yes, thank you for saying that, Authentic Empress. It's not about you being intimidated or scaring a scary person. They are intimidated by you, by the energy that you hold. And I want to give an example of this. Thank you so much for my nails. The same female that tried to put me in a sacrifice so that she can get money from her broke ass program, or it's a group of low vibrational folks, a part of the quote unquote conscious community. They thought that they were going to try to use me for a blood sacrifice because I'm high vibrational and I was the only manifestor around. It's the same female that's talking about me and lying and shit like that, but you were just trying to use me for a ritual, you see? And these are the type of games that they play to try to discredit you and put themselves on top. But at the end of the day, the thing about the throne is password protected by your energy signature. So they can act like they're on the throne all they want, but when push comes to shove, but when the real war begins, or when the real battle starts, or when the test really comes, they'll show you what throne that they're on. They're not on one at all. They'll show you what throne that they are on. They are not on one. They are not on one at all. You're the one that's on the throne. And that's why they're coming after you, because your past life royalty or your ancestors have specific rights. Or your ancestors have access to specific knowledge and wisdom that's passed on through your DNA. So they think by tampering with you and playing with you, they can get access to that, and it doesn't work. I talked about this too. A lot of these karmic energies, they're trying to steal your energy. They're trying to be like you. They don't know that they're an anchor. They're an anchor for low vibrational energy. That's a portal and a gateway to low vibrational time lords or the underworld. And then they're trying to tamper with your energy, and I want the light. I want to be the light. But you have too much darkness in you. But you don't want to accept that the darkness is in you. So you keep on lying. Or they keep on playing, or they keep on stalking or attacking or targeting you, thinking that that's how they're going to become the light. No, they just become more dark. And any light that they do get, it's of a negative frequency. It's like, let's say, for instance, you're negative 50, negative 60, and you get like 5 positive points. You're just negative 45. You see what I'm talking about? So any positivity or any light they try to steal from you or gain from you, it doesn't even work, because they're so in the hole. There's 222 people, as I said that, 222. They're so deep in the hole that it doesn't work. And that's why when you see even a lot of these karmics, they do sacrifices and shit like that, it never works. That's why they have to do multiple people. And all that's getting broken down. That whole structure is getting broken down because the DNA has ascended. Divine beings, we can no longer be sacrificed anymore. It's not possible. Our DNA has ascended past a certain level, and any karmic that didn't get that memo, they're going to be lost. That's why they can only sacrifice each other. There's a very powerful YouTube channel that's on here. I think she follows me. And she talks about that different celebrities doing sacrifices, and you'll see them. They can only sacrifice their right hand, or people just as low vibing as them. They can't get the higher sacrifices because we're coded. We're coded and we're protected. Because we got work to do. We can no longer be the sacrifice in this time. That's why a lot of us are being born in this time. And that's why we're dealing with a lot of bullshit and chaos in this time. Because we've been training for this for many lifetimes, to come in and destroy some of the principalities that have been operating. Because the principalities, they're weak. But they're not expecting it because they've been operating for so long, doing whatever. They're not expecting the hit to the neck. That's why a lot of you guys are getting targeted by these karmics, because they're being used by the principality. That's why you see them come in groups. That's why you see them come in droves. You don't see divine people getting together to gang up and target people and shit like that. It's always karmics, because birds of a feather flock together. And all of them steal, and all of them lie, and all of them cheat, and none of them know what they're doing, and all of them target, and all of them are jealous, and all of them are low vibration, and all of them are getting karma. And a lot of them are repeating the original the original transgressions that their ancestors did in terms of why. That's another thing too that I picked up. A lot of these karmics are repeating curses that their ancestors did. That's why they're getting it now. Think about this. Back in the islands, somebody's grandma went to go lie about another merchant to ruin their business. Now their descendant is doing the same exact thing. Oh, because I want to build my business and I want money. Then that's why their business gets destroyed and they end up in generational poverty. Or a woman, she wants the man because he has wealth, he has land, he has goats, and he has chickens. So she goes to go play spell work to maybe get rid of the wife or become the second wife. Then her kids become cursed because the DNA was too low vibrational, couldn't carry the charge of the man that they were chasing after. So now they're walking around with demonic children, Cambion children that turn into people like Trujillo. Does this make some sense? You got these karmic masculines that want to have harems. They want to capture divine feminines and things like that. They curse their bloodlines. That's why all their offspring end up being born with abnormalities or mental illness or shit like that, but they don't know why. What messages do you have regarding targeted individuals, past life energies? Look at the bottom. It says boundaries. Where can you establish better boundaries? Set your boundaries. Because you see all these hands coming to snatch and grab. Didn't I tell you? It's always multiple people coming after one because they are the outside. They're all karmics. They're all karmics. All of them are karmics coming after one to steal energy. Yeah. And look at how they're grabbing for the energy field. You see what I'm talking about? Look at the imagery on there. What messages do you have regarding targeted individuals, past life karmics, current life warfare? Yeah, that's why they're targeting you. Because they don't have that double strand, that 12-strand DNA. They're only at a 2-strand, and they keep on lowering their DNA with the toxic bullshit that they're doing, calling it ascension, or whatever they think that they're calling it. Some of them don't even know that that's what they're doing. And they're putting themselves in the frequency of hella karma. That's why you got trust and niggle feeling. What is the niggle trying to tell you? The niggle is trying to tell you that these are all karmics. The niggle's trying to tell you that these are all succubuses looking for energy. The niggle feeling is trying to tell you that these people are all trying to build off of you to move away from the shame of their ancestors and the disgrace of their ancestors. These people are coming to steal your spiritual legacy and your spiritual birthright because they don't have one. They're trying to steal your purpose because you found yours and they don't have theirs. A lot of these karmics too, I'm going to just say something that try to play with spirituality and and they're really the karmic and they're claiming they're divine feminine. They're going to find out real soon. And it's not from nothing that anybody else did to them or said to them or about them. It's from, they're going to realize it within their own self. Yeah. Especially the ones that like to play with black magic and shit like that. They're going to find themselves in a very sticky predicament very soon. And that's and only then are they going to realize that they're dealing with the ancestral curse. I told you a lot of these karmic masculines and feminines, their ancestors tied with serpents and demons, Moloch in them. Yeah. You'll hear it even through the deities that they call on, or the different animals that they don't you'll see it in the deities that they call on. What are they calling on? Be careful. What messages do you have regarding past life karma, current life karmics? Their DNA is of a very low vibration. You got unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. Exactly. You're not bound. You clear up your Cashapp records. A lot of us have been doing that heavy lifting work off of YouTube. That's why we do the spiritual warfare meditations. A lot of us have been doing heavy clearing of our DNA, heavy transmuting, doing shadow work and stuff like that. Doing ancestral healing work. A lot of us have been really immersed in that, learning about ourselves through the astrology so that we can be detached from some of the stuff that goes on and not take it so personally and just understand this is why this is happening around me. And because you guys have been doing that work, you're being unbound. And then your DNA is ascending even more. So now you're past the 40 codons. You're going into 50 codons. You're going into 52, 53, 54 codons. Mega knowledge and information and wisdom. Downloads. Downloads on downloads on downloads. Ascension on ascension. And these karmics can't do what you do. And they can't get access to that. So they try to tamper with you, but they don't understand it's not, you can't get the keys to the streets like that. It's something that's in me, baby. I didn't pay for anything. I didn't have to do no ritual. It's something that you were born with. It's your birthright. And they want to take your birthright. You always see the clowns and the peasants coming for the queen and the crown. It's only one queen on the throne. It's a king and a queen. Not 17 quote unquote queens coming after one quote unquote peasant. Nah, that's why they're doing that, because they know who they are. And that's why, like I said, a lot of them are repeating ancestral curses right now, and they don't know why they're repeating ancestral curses. It's like basically right now, let's say for instance, having an option to go through the Middle Passage or not, and then getting enslaved in the Americas, or in the Caribbean, or in South America or Latin America. A lot of karmics are putting themselves on that boat again to go through that treacherous journey. They're putting themselves on the boat again. So what are you saying about the original transgression? Let's be super, super real. And that's for some of you guys, like I said, this came up in the reading. That's why a lot of these karmics come after you, because your energy is clear and free. There's something, it's a freedom that they can't grasp. And they feel like by tampering in your energy field, they're going to get some of that freedom, but they just enslave themselves even more. That's why I just let karmics do what they want. When they play with me, I just let them do what they want, because it's like this. You can't get into my energy field. And anybody getting into my energy field, you see all those points and needles? You see how like the spikes coming out of her field? Touch that if you want to. Electrical flints, nuclear fencing your energy field. You've integrated. That's the double strand DNA. You've integrated all that trauma. You've cleared it. You've integrated it into a high vibrational 12 strand. That's why she's vibrating high with the violet flame, purple flame. Descendants of thieves, of liars, of plagiarizers. I know who my ancestors are, period. I sure do know who my ancestors are. I do. And despite, like I said, some of you guys, your parents, they were traumatized because of Jim Crow or because of the war on drugs, or back home, in your case, there was civil wars. There's a lot of civil wars that have gone on. Think about Afghanistan. They've had two wars in the past 20, 30 years, the Gulf War and then the Afghan War. So a lot of people, our immediate family members are still dealing with that. But when it comes to the DNA, your ancestors are high vibrational people. I know who my ancestors are. My grandfather on my daddy's side was a general in the Biafra War. Don't play. Very high vibrational legacy. On my mother's side, my grandmother, my grandfather, they were chiefs and chieftains. Come from royalty. That's why they killed my grandma with spell work. Know yourself. A lot of these karmics, they don't know yourself. They don't know themselves. That's why they come after you. And that's why they end up looking goofy, because they don't know themselves. That's why it says Lumeria, creating heaven on earth. Boom. Exactly. That's why you were sent here, to change things up, to shift the dynamics, to move the energy around. That's why they attack you, because they know your lineage. Even for some of you guys too, some of you guys, you're just like your ancestors were maybe enslaved and things like that, but it's how they healed and transmuted that energy. Not everyone dealt with reconstruction and all that the same way. You know that too. Especially some of our brothers and sisters that got trapped in the South. They didn't get to migrate north or to the West. Look at them. There's a reason why stuff is still like, look at Louisiana, look at Angola prison, look at Angola, for example. People been in there since they were 12. It's that they're still doing slavery on people. You see what I'm saying? They didn't get a chance to break out of it. So some of you guys, you could have even still come from those bloodlines. You could have still been impacted, but you did the work to heal and transmute that. A lot of karmics did not transmute that. That's why any karmic that has not really done that work of healing from, a white supremacy or being enslaved or, dealing with whatever type of historical trauma has gone on to your ancestors, there's nothing for us to really talk about, because I know that there's a whole legion of demons in your energy field that you've yet to transmute. So I'll just say that about that. And it's not just about like folks of color too. I'm just trying to give an example of what I know the most. Because we talked about this, even people in Ukraine, people in Britain, you think about like the druidic folks, think about Ireland, stuff like that. They didn't go through chattel slavery and stuff like that, but they still went through some type of oppression that does impact the DNA till this day. Jewish people in Poland and Germany, things like that, Yes, people got generational trauma and it impacts the DNA. It's passed down. And a lot of karmics, that's why they tamper with you, because they haven't done that healing on a DNA level. So they come across you and it triggers something deep, deep, deep. It's not even them. It's past life. Think about being held in a ship for days and days and it's dark and there's all types of bodies around you. That's the type of trauma that they're dealing with. That's why you can't even feel bad for them, because they're still reeling from that. And your energy, you come by their energy and they get a visceral reaction and they start reacting. I remember I went to the Caribbean and I'll never forget that. It was the saddest thing ever, because I was so happy and nice just to be around like all my people. They were hating on me the whole time. And you want to know why? You want to know what one of the women said? She told me, she was like, because your ancestors didn't go through the Middle Passage. She said that they know that there's something different about you. It made me so sad. They were treating me like shit. All of the women. And that's when I started to realize they hate goddesses. Yeah, that's why they hate us. And like I said, you don't see divine beings doing all of this. No, it's usually one divine being that's getting attacked and whatever the fuck, and people trying to siphon their energy, and it's a whole bunch of hood rats and karmics and shit like that trying to steal their energy or tamper or play. That's why you guys deal with the shit that you deal with. Then you got Unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. Yeah. Yeah. And I know my grandmama on my daddy's side too. I was gonna say my granny did not fucking play. Bessie Keoma, she did not fucking play. And my grandma was getting her ass, old and all. And she used to sit right on that front porch and she was talk hella shit to people that come to the house, completely sane and completely aware of what she was doing. you got releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. Yeah. A lot of you guys have done that clearing work. You've done a lot of that healing work. And that's why the karmics, they play with you because they haven't done that work, but it's evident in their behavior. That's why they act like they're still like on the plantation. We need to talk about these plantation politics, y'all. This shit is real. Especially, that's why I kind of like really try to talk about like healing for specifically because for Black people, because that's what I know. I know it's not, I know all races need healing, but I got to deal with my people first. You see what I'm talking about? I help everybody, but I know my people need a specific type of healing. They need a specific type of help. You still connected? Yeah. But you know, a lot of you guys too, even people in your family, they do this to you too. And you're like, okay, well, Daisy, if we come from the same bag, we came from the same family, we come from the same blood. Why? Because some of you guys, you're getting all the gifts in your ancestral line. Yeah. And because you're getting all those gifts, that's why you have jealous sisters and jealous mothers and jealous brothers and cousins and shit like that. Because you're getting all the spiritual gifts. That's why they attack you. Because they want what you have. But guess what? The thing is, but when it comes down to it, they can't carry the charge because it's in the DNA. It's like they got a cup. How do I do this without here, let me give you an example. This is your bottle. This is the bottle that they have. You clearly see that there's a difference. They want to take all the contents and stuff like that you're supposed to be getting, but the bottle is not big enough. So then it starts to overflow and make a mess all over the place. You see what I'm saying? So be careful. The thing that a lot of these karmics are going to be learning before you come for the crown, make sure you're able to wear it. A lot of them can't wear the crown. That's why they do the shit that they do. They feel like they can just take it temporarily by gang stalking, running their mouth, lying, trying to steal your energy. They can't really wear it. That's why it ends up making them sick. Yeah. With all those different pokes and needles. That's why you always see karmics that try to be like you or emulate you. They can never keep up. It ends up making them sick because they weren't supposed to be wearing the crown in the first place. They're imposters. I'm going to tell you right now, too, there's certain orders as well. That's why a lot of these karmics, I don't pay attention. And even for you guys, too, you know this. Back in, like, I'm going to just keep it real. Back home where I'm from, you can't even speak to certain people, like, in a certain way. They would literally just strip you down and just whip you like a dog in the streets, period. And I'm not advocating for violence, but that's kind of like how it is back there. You just can't do any type of thing to any type of family or any type of bloodline. You just say your last name and that's it. That's why, like, with a lot of the karmics I play, I'm like, I wish you were back home because they would have just laid you down and just whipped you like a snake that you are. Yeah, there's 144 likes as I said that. Whipped like a snake. And I just said that, period. You said same in my culture. It's not possible. That's why I am the way that I am, because I learned respect at a very young age. Because I went to high school in Nigeria, but also growing up in that culture. These karmics, they don't have any respect. That's why they do the things that they do. Even the ones that are playing with spell work on you, they have no idea what they're doing. So that type of stuff, you can get yourself killed back home. So they come and they say, oh, this person is doing magic. Oh, no. Absolutely not. That shit is not acceptable. That's why sometimes I was like, there's trade-offs with being back home and there's trade-offs with being in America. Shit is not possible. Certain things are absolutely not possible coming from certain bloodlines. That's why I just let them go. Because in the spiritual realm, the justice is still being served here. That's why it says trust the niggle feeling. You already know what's coming for them. You already know. Your ancestors, they gave you the crown. They knew that you can get the job done. Several are called, few are chosen. Many are called, few are chosen. Many are called, few are chosen. I know I'm sweating because I'm channeling. Look how that all just happened just now. Many are called, few are chosen. Yeah, they need to be whipped. You said yes, they need to be whipped. She said yes, whip their ass. You guys are so funny. Dear bright and living ancestors, what messages do you have? Targeted individuals. You got the sacred self. Boom. And then look what you got here. You got Joan of Arc. I was just gonna say Joan of Arc burned at the stake. Yeah, a lot of these karmics, they can't handle the heat. They want your crime, but when it comes to the persecution, they can't. That's why they try so hard to discredit you and make it seem like you're this or that. But they could never live in your shoes, not even a day. They can't. They can't. And I'm gonna tell you, for a lot of you guys right now, a lot of these karmics are gonna have to eat shit because something's gonna start happening spiritually. Because you guys are protected. So whoever tries to throw swords at you, physically, spiritually, verbally, psychologically, it's all getting returned. That's why you see a lot of them falling out and getting deeper into mental illness and just talking crazy and having psychotic breakdowns and doing it publicly. Because this is the energy that's happening in their field. This is what's happening in their field. They can't enter. They can't get any. And also, too, because a lot of the gateways have closed for these these advancements and whatnot. A lot of them are stuck in the double strand. Some of them are even going single strand spiritually. Some of them are getting more codons are being locked off and blocked off and deactivated. That's why you're going to see them get more hungry and more thirsty and more crazy as the time goes on, because they're not ready. What messages do you have? Oh, you said she's one of your ancestors that cried when you read her story. That's beautiful. What messages do you have regarding targeted individuals, past life warfare? You got Shiva, Kali Ma. Wow. Facing fear. Then look what you got. Holy Spirit, expect miracles. A lot of these karmics are about to know exactly who they are. Yep. Kali Ma facing fear. Major spiritual changes are unfolding. A lot of you guys are about to get more DNA advancements. And that's why I'm telling you this, because be prepared for the warfare that comes with this DNA advancement or this boost up in life. Be prepared, because you're living out your birthright. You're living out your high vibrational Cashapp records. This is the Keepers of the Light Oracle. Yeah, you're facing your fears, Kali Ma. Your ancestors are making a necklace of all these people that are playing with you. What's happening right now, too, a lot of people who have special missions, sacred missions and talents and things like that, a lot of you guys are going to be getting an added layer of protection, but also, too, some of the ancestors are going to make an example of some of your karmics. And that's, you didn't even ask. You just wanted to keep it pushing. But they're going to show people when you get in, moving forward, as we bring down these principalities globally, there are divine people who are going to be tasked with doing the work of taking the principalities down and rebuilding new earth. If you want to get in their way, we're going to unleash spirit onto you. I hope this makes some sense. A lot of high-level black magic is forbidden on earth. Exactly. And that's why Aleister Crowley, I told you, he is trapped in a basement somewhere and cannot ever get out and can never reincarnate because of what he played with. But you can't tell these karmic shit. This Akashic Records magic that they're playing with now, this shapeshifter magic, I feel like, because I've had it done to me a few times by different people, I feel like it's just maybe one or two practitioners that are teaching this to people in groups and they're going out and doing it. That magic is not even allowed on planet Earth. Some of that stuff is like the vibration of the planet is like not even where we're going. It's not even going to happen. That's why I'm saying a lot of these practitioners and a lot of these karmics are about to get their just due. They're about to get spiritually poisoned playing games with you. So for those of you divine beings, like you got karmics playing with you, honestly, don't pay them any attention. Just let time do its thing. It's going to happen. Let it occur naturally. But that's going to be their lesson. And hopefully in that lesson that they learn, it gives them an opportunity to raise their vibration and raise their DNA and do the healing that they need to do in terms of the low vibrational ancestors that they keep on reincarnating. Because it's a choice. It's a choice. I know who my ancestors are, period. Like, period. That's why they keep on trying to sacrifice me. People don't rob empty houses. People don't sacrifice bitches that are not about shit. People sacrifice people who have high vibrational energy to power up their spells. Let's just keep it all the way real. All right, you all. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. You guys are really amazing. And I love you all so much. You guys have a good night. Bye.